Hey guys, it's me Alia and welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the spinning, but yes, it is me Alia and I am coming here to talk to you guys about the second episode of ABC Family's new show, Stitchers. So we are all very well aware that Stitchers is a brand new show, and in my opinion, it is kicking off to a great start. I mean, guys, this show is about a girl who can give a crap about anything except for things that actually relate personally to her. I mean, if people tell her to do something and she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't do it. She's freaking awesome, in my opinion. So, Kirsten, I love you, girl, and I got no shame in that. But let's get right down to everything that happened in the episode. So the episode starts off with Kirsten coming back home, and her roommate has laid out dinner for her, and it's supposed to be an apology dinner. But in my opinion, she's fake, and Kirsten sees it, and she's like, this is what an apology looks like, because she knows that her roommate Camille is fake. So Kirsten, you got a good eye, my friend. You got a good eye. And her roommate is slightly offended by Kirsten rejecting her dinner. But I'm just like, you're fake, so why should Kirsten even care? Sorry, Camille. So in this episode, they make a revelation about Kirsten. Sorry, I don't know why I'm spinning. It's addicting. Anyway, they make a revelation about Kirsten, and it turns out that she's the only person, well, other than the first Stitcher, Marta, who can touch things in someone else's memory. I mean, she's just supposed to be there as a part of the consciousness. She's not supposed to be a part of events, but Kirsten is, because she is a boss, like I'm going to say in most likely every episode. The main reason Kirsten went into the Stitchers program is so that she could figure out more about Ed, her fake father, and her real father, whose name I don't remember. I'm sorry, I have a bad memory. You think I'd get better at it, but oh well. Anyway, she wants to go into this program so she can figure out more about Ed and her father. And Ed has just recently died, so they tell Kirsten that she's going to be able to go into his memory. But then they sidetrack her with this other girl who died from a drug overdose, and this drug is supposed to be very dangerous, and they don't want it to reach the streets, so they have to get Kirsten to go into this girl's memory to see where she got the drug and who's dealing, all this other stuff. So Ed is put on the back burner for a while, which upsets Kirsten, but she thinks the quicker she gets through this, the faster she can get to Ed, which is the only reason why she really goes into this girl's brain. So while Kirsten is in the brain of this girl whose name is Lisa, who died from a drug overdose, the cops are investigating Kirsten because she's just an anomaly to them. They can't figure out why she's just connected to this suicide, and then also she was connected to the bombings in the previous episode. Hopefully you guys watch that so you'll know what I'm talking about, but they can't figure it out what it is about her, so they become very curious about Kirsten, and she's on their radar, which she's a boss, so of course she's going to be on cops' radar. So the drug that killed the girl Lisa is very, very dangerous, and when Kirsten is stitched into Lisa's brain, she finds out that the drug turns people into monsters. Well, you know, when you're on drugs and everything's kind of like crazy, well, this drug turns everyone around you into monsters, and I guess Kirsten had a problem with monsters when she was little, and Ed helped her deal with it. They show little flashbacks, and it shows that. So it's kind of hitting home because this is something that reminds her of Ed, and she just really wants to get into Ed's brain so she can figure out what happened to him. But we'll see what happens. So Lisa's murder takes place at this club. So Kirsten tricks Cameron Bay into going to the club to try to see if it can trigger any memories, since she was on the drug in Lisa's brain, so everything was kind of whoop-dee, you know? So she tricks Cameron into taking her to the club, where they get kicked out, and this is during the day. So she recruits Camille, Cameron, and Linus to all go to the club with her at night so they can kind of get into the scene and see what happened. And they're also looking for a girl that Kirsten saw in Lisa's memory, and hopefully with that they can put the pieces of the murder together. Guys, let me just say something. So at this club, they pair up. So Camille and Linus pair up, and they go out, and they're dancing when they're supposed to be looking for the suspect, but they don't really care because they're trying to have fun. And then Kirsten and Cameron team up, and let me just say, guys, I want them to be together so bad. Okay, their ship names going out. People are thinking of them. It's either, let me see, Camston or Kirsten. So if anyone watches this, tell me what you guys think is better. I'm kind of leaning towards Camston. I don't know, just kind of flows off the tongue, right? But they're so perfect. Anyway, he starts dancing next to her, and 'cause she's very stiff. And what's really cool about Kirsten is she looks around and she's automatically picking up dance moves, and they start dancing together, and I'm just like, perfect Camston moment. I just want them to be a thing already, but gotta be patient. And Camille and Linus, they even have a thing going on. Like, they both think each other are very attractive, so I'm like, guys, go ahead. It's so... I'm a hard shipper, guys. Whenever there's something to ship, I ship it. So it's just something you should know. It's a warning. It is a warning. So Kirsten finds a girl that she saw in Lisa's memory, but that girl has a boyfriend who is a club owner who is also a drug user. Not drug user, drug dealer. He is a drug dealer. And they try to follow him, but this guard blocks the door, so Camille is a boss. I called her fake. She is fake. But she's also a boss. She tasers the guard in the neck. And they try to follow the girl and the club owner outside, but then the cops come and they don't arrest the gang. I'm going to call them the gang. They don't arrest them. But the head detective, who is Detective Fisher, he's very relevant. He's kind of the figurehead of the cops from the viewer standpoint. So he tries to stop them from doing what they're doing, but Kirsten, being the blunt girl that she is, tells him everything about the Stitchers program, which he was not supposed to know. Then this girl takes him to the Stitchers program and just tells him everything. So Maggie, I think it is, Maggie, who's the head of the Stitchers program, has no choice but to bring Detective Fisher on to the Stitchers squad, and she said it would be kind of cool to have someone from the LAPD on their team because it'll make things easier. They can get warrants and do a bunch of cool stuff. Plus, he can keep an eye on Kirsten, when she goes rogue and tries to do field work on her own. Guys, okay. After they bring Detective Fisher onto the team, Maggie kind of blows up before she invites him onto the program, and she blows up at Camille, and everyone's like, what? Why is she blowing up at Camille? And it's because Camille is a secret Stitcher. Like, what? Camille, come on, girl. Why we gotta keep secrets? So what happened was, when she first became Kirsten's roommate, the Stitchers program hired her on, and they asked her to watch Kirsten, and she had been doing it ever since she was her roommate, which was over a year. I mean, although this is a bootsy situation, just shows how sly Camille can be. I mean, what do we expect from this girl? I don't know, guys. I don't know, but anyway, so Camille was a secret Stitcher, and now, but I kind of like that they did this because she's now officially a part of the team. Because I was wondering, like, what is Kirsten's roommate going to do on the show? Is she just going to tag along, whatever? But no, this girl is a Stitcher, so although you were skeevy, Camille, you are sly, so I appreciate that. Excuse my tongue, guys. After the gang does some more investigative work, they find out that the club owner killed Lisa. He stuffed drugs into her mouth, and she died from it. And Lisa was just this girl who was trying to protect foster kids and kids on the street, and it ended up in her getting killed. But she was very pretty, and she seemed like a good person. So, R.I.P. Lisa. R.I.P. Now the case is solved, yay! But there's a catch. So Kirsten is ready to stitch into Ed, but they tell her that something terrible happened and his brain is beyond the point of being able to be stitched into, which pisses Kirsten off. she automatically blames Maggie for everything, saying that Maggie put this case on her so Kirsten could purposely not stitch into Ed, which I actually agree with, guys. I mean, why else would she keep putting Ed off? He had shorter time than this girl, and I don't know. There's something about Ed, guys. Something about him. But Ed apparently left Kirsten a house and all of his belongings, so they planned to go through his things to try to figure out what was exactly going on with him, who he was, if he really committed suicide. I guess, honestly, if Kirsten had stitched into his brain, it would have been too obvious. We would have found out everything too early, and it just wouldn't have been a good show. But now they are making it better, so hats off to the creators and the writers of Stitchers. Now, guys, the Ed twist was not the only twist that the Stitchers writers threw at us. So at the end of the episode, we see Cameron in the hospital checking up on a patient, and he replaces the flowers in her room. And once we pan over to the patient and pan over to her little monitor thing, it says her name. Guess what her name is? Marta Rodriguez. And if you guys don't remember, Marta is the original Stitcher who Cameron mentioned had psychological problems from stitching. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And since Cameron left her flowers, obviously they had some relation, probably romantic. I can already imagine it happening. Once him and Kirsten finally meet and become close, Marta wakes up from whatever coma she's in, and then he's caught between two girls. I can see it now, guys. I see it. I'm calling it now. I'm predicting it. So if it happens, I called it. But I don't want it to happen. I want Kirsten and Cameron. I want Camston, guys. But I don't know what's going to happen. We just still don't know exactly what happened to Marta. Marta, right? Yeah, Marta, we don't know exactly what happened to her, and we don't know if the same thing's going to happen to Kirsten. We just don't know, and I am anxious already, guys, but I'm loving this show. But that Marta thing, that was the end of this episode, and I was kind of sad that it ended, but I'm excited for this season. So, guys, that summed up the whole episode. I loved it. I'm loving every single bit of it. I just want to see all the episodes already. I want to know all about Ed and Marta and Cameron, and I want to know what happens between Linus and Camille. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for next week's episode because something happens where everyone is feeling some type of way, and by some type of way, I mean they're all feeling lovey-dovey. So there could be some hookups, some kisses, some anything, and I'm excited because I'm hoping for a Camston moment, and maybe even a Camille and Linus moment. I don't know what their ship name would be. I didn't look it up. Maybe Lenil, or Caminus. Caminus can work, but I kind of like Lenil. I'm gonna go with Lenil, even though Caminus sounds cooler. Lenil it's Lenil. I don't know, but yeah. The season's going to be great. I suggest you guys keep watching Stitchers and keep being caught up. If you can't exactly catch up, feel free to watch my videos because I'll pretty much be explaining just about everything that happens, everything that's relevant, and yeah. Well, guys, this is the end of my video. I hope you guys liked what I had to talk about. Please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to check out some of my other videos. Check out my Twitter, where I will be live tweeting specific shows such as Unreal, Devious Maids, and possibly some other stuff. If you guys are unaware, next week the Finding Carter season finale comes on. So once that show ends, it ends next week. The week after, I will be picking up Teen Wolf. Oh my gosh. Teen Wolf. The home of so many handsome boys. That will be fun. But, yeah, so I hope you, like I said before, I hope you guys enjoyed. And tomorrow I will be posting a video on Finding Carter. Not the finale, that comes on next week, but Tuesday's episode of Finding Carter. So, yeah, guys, I will see you next time. Bye.